Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome 2v2 Arabia, the Viper and DauT, the old school legends, taking on Liereyy and Hart. These guys have kind of taken the AOC world by storm a bit. Yeah, that's hyperbole. But playing a lot of really great team games together. Liereyy and Hart, they're good players on their own, but together they're like, I don't know, apples and peanut butter. We're going to see Mayans Persian Mirror here. Kind of an interesting Civ matchup, in my opinion. Mayans, those archers are really nice. It's great to get some plumes out. You can build some castles, take over some territory. It's a really good Civ. The problem is that the two Persian player, Viper and Hart here, are probably going to go into knights. Persians are a really good cavalry Civ. If you're fighting one-on-one versus Persians, you can always build camels to counter your opponent's knights. You also see a lot of monks built in those type of battles. Mayans, a Civ you can also build a lot of monks with. So it's going to be really interesting. Everybody's got an opportunity to counter everybody else. So we'll see who gets the upper hand here. We'll see what mixture of units wins the game. And maybe we'll learn something. I can't guarantee that. I hope only to entertain a little bit. I mean, learning is... that's a little outside my jurisdiction. Okay, so Liereyy will be playing here in the teal, Mayans on his team. His teammate Hart will be in yellow as Persians in the bottom. So they'll have the left and bottom side of the map. The teal player, Mayans, will be across from DauT, also playing as Mayans. So Mayans v Mayans on top of the map, Persians v Persians on the bottom of the map. Interestingly, very short distance here between these two players. And also interestingly, just from the mini-map, the Viper's map here does not have a lot of wood, and it doesn't have a lot of wood that allows him to build any walls and structure his base. So I think he's going to be in a little bit of hot water. Actually, similar things can be said for Hart. It is dry Arabia. You're not going to get that much structure. We're going to see a really intense game, I would think, here. I can't imagine that this is a game that's going to go super deep because there's just so many openings in the map for these guys to raid each other. Okay, so the Viper and DauT playing a lot together as of late. DauT has started to look really good. 4 on wood for the blue player here. He's going to have his main gold and main stone on the front. A little bit ugly, but his map is probably the easiest to defend out of everybody. A little bit of palisading here. And look at this. I mean, this is almost fully walled on its own. So he can protect these even though they're kind of sticking out there in front of his TC. The 4 vills on wood. A lot of times with these meso civs, you'll drush. Not uncommon to see a 3 militia drush here. Can also go into men-at-arms if you want to, need to, if you think it's a good idea. Anyway, the other Mayans player will be Liereyy. He's going to have back gold, back stone, actually lots of extra gold in the back to work with. Very open map as everybody else is dealing with, but look at how late he is to build a lumber camp because he just couldn't find a suitable wood line. This one's hideous. This one's tiny. It's a freaking decimal of a wood line. He's going to be able to build lumber on the back with 4 vills, but if he drushes, it's going to be a little slower. I shouldn't say that. He's probably been chopping, this puny tree for a while. No big whoop, but this could be the crux of Lierey's map. If he keeps getting raided on his wood, where does he go? Where's his next wood line going to be? Not here. That sucks. Way over here? That's really sketchy. Anyway, enough of my meandering on. Okay, Hart is going to be playing as Persians up against the Viper. He's got a lot of mineable resources kind of all clustered here on the front. Does have a cliff and some wood line to work with. Maybe he can build a little bit of a block here and push toward the TC and create a safe pocket. That's what I guess that he's doing, but it's awfully early in the game. Viper Scout here is forward quite early. We'll keep an eye on that. Little stone in the back pocket for Hart. Probably not going to be something that really matters early on, but I suppose we'll see. Viper scouting out his side. He will also be playing as the Persians. Persians were actually a pretty fierce empire for quite some time. 4 vills on wood for the Viper. Could drush if he wants. Could try to go to castle a little more quickly. Suppose we'll see. Gold on the side for the Viper. Yeah, somewhat defendable. You can certainly block this area pretty easy and push toward the TC. Got to make the best out of a bad situation. His stone piles both on the front. Not so pretty. And like we said, just really crappy wood lines. A couple of nice extra golds here to the north of Viper's TC. If he could hide in the fog of war, he could take those. That's probably his best chance at being able to fall back. If he loses his front gold, maybe he can hide in the fog of war. Anyway, for now, we'll see 4 vills on wood for everybody. Potential early aggression for everyone. Potential fast castle builds for a couple of these players. But everybody's really open. I mean, it takes some serious balls just to straight up fast castle. Liereyy pushing some deer here for the moment on 21 vills. I actually don't know if there's any barracks up for any of these guys. No barracks up there. DauT will have a barracks up. For the moment, he may not be queuing militia. Militia on the way. There you go. Viper will be clicking up to Feudal Age, as will Hart and Liereyy. So just DauT with a drush here. Everybody else is going to fight this out in the Feudal Age. Kind of the downside for DauT is that he's actually the one player who's so far from his opponent, right? DauT and Liereyy here are so far from one another. But I still think it's a good idea. He's going to be able to house wall in this whole area, probably block in the front as well. And he's going to be safe and happy as a clam, potentially, by the time his drush is dead. 3 militia for him. They have not left the barracks yet. So we'll have to keep an eye on what DauT is up to. He might be just thinking about countering the drush of Liereyy, but he has to know by the score that Liereyy is certainly not going to be drushing. Liereyy at the moment is on the lowest score on the map, and you just know if your opponent builds a barracks in those militia, they're going to have a higher score. So you can kind of anticipate that drush coming in. For the moment, we are waiting for Feudal Age. Looks like players will start to build up their barracks and get themselves ready for a feudal push. Viper and Hart probably going to go with stables, but yeah, who knows? You know, I'm certainly not a pro player. I'm not here to tell you what they're going to do. A couple vills over to gold for Liereyy. Just 2 is actually an interesting number. Certainly would expect him to go into archers if he's going to go quickly to the Feudal Age. 2 vills on gold, though, is kind of an interesting number. Let's just see what the plan is here for Mr. Liereyy. I mean, it has to be a range immediately when he hits the Feudal Age. But yeah, he's going to have to send a few more vills over to gold as he moves forward. Have those 3 vills on gold to keep your range going. Inevitably, I would expect at least this to be a 2-range push. Viper will add a stable in with 3 vills. He's kind of the slowest man up to the Feudal Age amongst the fast feudal crowd. So he's going to be able to power build his stable, but he and Hart are going to be standing toe-to-toe. Scout numbers should be really similar. Hart is going to block toward the TC there, and if he can block this as well, I think he's going to be sitting pretty. I mean, maybe a TC in this area later in the game as well. Anyway, why speculate? It's all going to happen eventually. DauT has blocked a bit of that area, still needs to block the pond, and I think he needs to block over here as well. I think there's an open panel. DauT's drush is still hanging around in defense. I mean, you know, whatever. It is what it is. He's so far from his opponent that drush would be just arriving, and it would be immediately killed by Lierey's double range archers, I'm assuming. Double range archers. Liereyy transitioning vills over to gold. He'll have 6 on gold, and he'll be happy as can be. Hart coming in with some scouts. He'll do some poking and prodding. Unless the Viper left a low HP vill on this wood line, he should be fine. Got a spearman in place. It's just 2 scouts. Viper's got a couple scouts of his own. DauT will be on his way to the Feudal Age now. Potentially going to be able to fast castle. He's got 30 vills. I mean, as long as he can keep himself safe, he can fast castle. The problem is going to be these archers should be coming forward soon from Liereyy. And he's going to know where to push. I mean, this gold pile on the front is really important for DauT. He's kind of taken a bit of a gamble. I mean, he's taking that gold on the front first. He can probably block it in if he builds a few more houses here. But yeah, this gold on the back is a little bit safer. I wonder if he could have done better. We'll have to see. Have to see how well he does defending against archers. I would think DauT coming up so late will drop a couple buildings and try to click to castle and then start building skirmishers so that he can parry his opponent's archers' blows. Nonetheless, I'll stop speculating. We'll watch the game. Looks like the Viper and Hart for the moment are going at it. Hart getting a couple of really nice pokes in on some of these scouts, and they're actually on pretty damn low HP. At the moment, Hart's military number is a little behind the Viper, and I wonder if he's planning to add in. No, he's still adding in scouts and spears. Still gonna go all in for the feudal aggression for the moment versus Mr. Viper. Looks like Liereyy will start to come forward now. Hart is Xing Viper, and that's a really interesting concept because Liereyy is going to go and help his teammate. He's going to have 1 spearman in play, a couple of +1 damage archers, just 5 though. This number is not really enough to take this fight, but if Liereyy here can push on the Viper's military, he can probably, help his teammate maybe pincer this group. These guys are going to join forces. They're going to play this as a true team. I love it, man. There's a reason that you have a teammate. It's because you're supposed to work together. On the other side, though, DauT and Viper have a decent opportunity here. They're going to have one player going into feudal aggression and one player drush fast castling. DauT's going to hit castle first. We'll check on how he is on stone at the moment. I think he needs a little more power, though, than trying to go plumes. He needs more speed than the plume archer build, I think, would allow. At the moment, we will see DauT not on stone that I can tell, but he is taking a little bit of gold aggressively. Liereyy and Hart, though, joining forces here in the feudal age. This is a really nice-looking group. Just one spearman in there to keep these scouts honest. Enough scouts, though, from Hart and the initial Eagle Warrior from Liereyy are really going to hurt the Viper. 3 villagers down now for the red player. And it's just a waiting game for him. He's got to try to find a way to pick at this army if it gets separated from itself. The Viper can swoop in. He does have more scouts. The problem is DauT just can't help him at all for the moment. DauT is going quickly to castle, and he's leaving the Viper high and dry. Bloodline's coming in for Hart as we speak, so Hart's going to have some pretty damn beefy scouts. He's got to be careful. No reason to throw too much damage away by putting them too close to the TC, but I think he's going to be all right for now. Oh boy, DauT here really needs to get in the game ASAP. Going to send 2 skirmishers over to his teammate for now. He's going to build a blacksmith in the back. He's going to start upgrading himself a bit, but this is just it feels like too slow of a build. He's really asking the Viper to do something heroic. And the Viper can't even take his main gold on the front. He's 2v1. Bloodline scouts from his opponent. Meanwhile, the Viper does not yet have bloodlines. It is on the way. But man, these initial 5 archers are still alive. That initial spear is going to die. That's actually meaningful. That's meaningful. The Viper able to lure that spear in, or maybe you could say Liereyy getting a little bit careless, a little bit callous. His spearman goes down, and now this group of scouts can do a little raiding. This is still too much for them to try to take on. But those scouts are looking a little bit more likely to be able to kill this group quickly. Looks like DauT will come from the north. He'll have his drush and a couple of elite skirms, but the Viper's lost 1, 2, I believe 3 more vills. He's really fallen behind. He's on 30 villagers right now. Meanwhile, Liereyy and Hart are on 39. Are you kidding me? 9 villagers potentially have died. Some of that's probably idle TC time. The Viper at the moment, 17 idle vills. He's probably just screaming at DauT or screaming at the world. The universe has not been kind to him. Viper and DauT will probably clean this up, but the Viper needs to go help his teammate. Get in there, Broseph. Yeah, Viper's going to come in and clean this up. But it's so late in the game at this point. Hart on the way to castle. Liereyy is walled in. Lierey's also got a bunch of archers in the back of DauT's base. DauT at the moment with 12 idle vills. He's in the castle age, but his economy is still not quite to the point where he's a dangerous player in this game. Elite Skirmisher is a really sad thing to see him have to go to, but it is what it is. He's trying to help his teammate pull this back. I guess what I'd say in summary is really great 2v1 for Hart and Liereyy there. I think that Liereyy could have raided DauT earlier. I thought he was going to, and I thought it was going to work really well. But his first group is going to go and hit the Viper, and man, red player is basically 10 villagers behind where he should be. And that's all, that's all you need in a team game. 10 villager advantage is a huge advantage. Viper will drop a market. He's going to power build that market. That makes me think that he probably needs to sell some resources to get up. He's going to have a huge surplus of wood. He can balance out his eco and click up. It's really his only chance. He's got to get to castle as fast as he can. Hart's going to be there first. Hart's going to be pumping out, I would think, some knights. 2 stables down here. Stone, actually, ooh, Viper paying some stone to DauT. That's actually really surprising to me. Viper will give 140 stone to DauT as soon as he gets his market up. Wow, that's really surprising. And it looks like DauT will do something with that. Maybe another TC. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for a moment. But yeah, this is really a tough situation. Second TC coming in for Hart. He's going to have double stable knights rolling out. Bloodlines, +1 damage, +1 defense. Pretty beefy knights for this point in the game. And he's going to be running into Viper's zone. The Viper will head north with some scouts to try to clean up these archers from Liereyy. But in the meantime, the first couple knights will roam into his eco. Viper's going to have to go into Spearman here. Look at his eco. It's just absolutely in chaos at the moment. Looks like it's going to be more idle villager time for the Viper. And Hart here is just going to start picking away at more and more vills. Oh boy. Really tough game. I should say really well-played game so far by Liereyy and Hart. Sometimes your opponent will make a tactical decision, and if you can take advantage of it, you have to. And at this point, the 2v1 absolutely crippling the Viper. DauT at the moment had to go to Elite Skirm. That's a very reactive move, and it's a really, I sound like Trump here, it's a loser move. You know, I mean, sometimes you could pull a game back like this, but he had to go to Elite Skirm right away in the Castle Age. He's really no threat whatsoever to Liereyy or Hart. He's just trying to defend himself. And Liereyy here will just have massively overwhelming numbers of crossbows. So those couple Elite Skirms will get cleaned up. Viper and DauT in a lot of trouble. Viper's pumping out a ton of spears here. Hart's going to turn around and fight them. Even though they are direct counters, they're a feudal age unit, so the Viper won't be able to kill very many knights here. Good decision by Hart to go ahead and turn around and fight that. He will eventually, though, get dwindled down. Viper's going to keep adding in spearmen and try to pull these knights down. Got to focus on the low HP ones. Yeah, there goes one knight. Probably going to see another die soon. There's a couple on low HP, but geez Louise, here comes Liereyy again to join up with Hart, the meat shield of the knights, and the couple of crossbows in the back. Viper's getting diced up, and this is GG. We're 25 minutes in, and this game is absolutely, positively over. Incredibly well-played team game. I mean, what can you do if you're the Viper? You're 2v1. You're not going to win that fight, really, ever, especially when your opponents are really strongly suited to beat you. You know, people who are in your wheelhouse. What am I trying to say? Players that are as good as you are. There you go. DauT's going for a 4TC boom build, and it's just like, what is the plan? What is the plan, DauT? Are you going to play 2v1 because your teammate Viper is at risk of basically having every single villager killed? 35 vills, 17 idols, Viper in the feudal age. He's got some villagers walled in the back here. Oh my god. If Liereyy can get there, that would be an absolutely beautiful thing to watch. Love me some villager kills. It's not just the Viper's villager number here. It's incredibly low. It's the fact that he just has to garrison his TC every couple of minutes. DauT will send over some elite skirms. Looks like a couple crossbows will die in this little battle to the side. But Viper's entire army will die there. Hart's got an opportunity to clean up these skirms. Turn around, bro. Hart should really be helping his teammate clean up those skirms. Even though Lierey's got the hill and he probably has more upgrades than DauT. No reason to be fighting crossbows versus skirms. That's a really wasted opportunity. But at this point in the game, a mistake of that magnitude, small mistake, doesn't really matter. Knights raiding the Viper's economy. Viper will run villagers. He's going to maybe try to hide a couple of those vills in the fog of war. Rams coming in. Viper's trying to sling everything he has to DauT. DauT will go to Imperial Age. This tactic could have worked in a different scenario, but man, that early feudal age just... It's pretty much been GG since that point. Really, really great rating on the Viper, and you know, the Viper's a special player, but 2v1 for this long against really nicely balanced armies with cavalry, with archers behind those cavalry. Pretty damn hard to micro around that. In the end, this TC will certainly go down. These knights are going to chew up 11 juicy villagers inside of that douchey Persian TC, and we've also got Liereyy on the top of the map with plumed archers, just taking down vills. Kind of a slow burn, but he will grab probably 3 or 4 of these villagers before all is said and done. Oh boy. I guess we can fast forward for a moment, see if something crazy miraculous happens. for DauT and the Viper here, but this is starting to look like looks like chapter 11 to me. DauT's going to have Eagle Warriors on the way. Barracks coming down for him as we speak. Quite a few Eagles for the DauTster. 4 TC build, at least 4 TC build. He does still have some safe gold in the back. His eco is safe. You got to give him that much. He's going to start to try to roam in and hit the Viper. But in the meantime, Hart will be roaming into his base. So right as the Eagle spam starts to come out, it's going to be, again, reactive spam. DauT's going to have to turn those forces back onto his own eco to protect himself. And the only problem with that is that, that the Viper's pretty much dead. So DauT here having to play defensively with a dead teammate seems like an impossible task. Plume's roaming around grabbing some villagers on the back. Hart's going to peel off a couple of those knights and start to try to go hit his opponent. Eagle Warrior's just not that suited. Elite Eagle never got in for DauT either. Eagles are not really that suited to take on knights, especially if they're not elite. So, in the end, Liereyy and Hart will take this game by storm. I mean, it lasted 32 minutes, but it was really over around minute 18 with some incredibly good feudal raiding. You know, a couple of archers. I think Liereyy had 5 archers, 1 spearman, and his eagle. And his teammate Hart had 6 or 7 scouts, maybe 5 or 6 scouts. But the teamwork of those 2 units together was just, it was impossible for the Viper. Viper didn't have the greatest map. We talked about him maybe being able to protect this, but he just didn't have the time to properly defend the gold on the front, which was no bueno, and just had no ability to fight those 2 armies. And they just walked right into his eco, killed so many villagers. In the end, the Viper is going to finish this game with 8 villagers. With 8 villagers. What in the actual hell? And DauT's going to finish the game with 80 idols. Well, that's probably because he resigned first, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Pretty damn decisive 2v2 game. Liereyy and Hart, baby. Learn those names. Those guys are absolutely here to stay. Good game from them. They'll take game 1 of the set. I'll see if there's more. To be honest, this game was just played a moment ago, so this might be a one and done thing, but if there's more games, of course, you will see that on your screen right now in the recommended games. I don't know what's going to be there. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'm Killer B. Much love. Catch you guys soon.